This is
It is Thursday, February 5th, 2015. Welcome, everyone, to episode 22 of the OG Cast, your clan podcast for the original Guardians. My name is Mike. You can find me on Xbox Live. I am mikerocksmore. We're doing something a little different this week, and we're going to be showing some gameplay here. So for everyone who is catching this either live or on YouTube after, you'll be able to watch some gameplay. Got some Call of Duty gameplay here, courtesy of Cynic here. And yeah, let's get on here. So first
Mike,
off, let's
Mike,
what's that?
before we start, should we see the gameplay right now? Because once you maximize the screen, I don't see it anymore.
I see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't see the gameplay anymore.
Oh, okay. Then let me.
Weird.
That better?
Maybe we can't see it, but
Okay, hang on here.
bear with us, guys.
Technical difficulties.
I'm sure we can edit this out anyway. Yeah, for some reason
All right,
it's
that
when you
better?
maximize the screen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll
you
just leave it at this.
maximize-
Hopefully it all works. Alright, well hopefully this works out then. So it might be some technical difficulties here. We're giving it a try anyway, so hopefully it all works out here. So let's get to everybody here. You already heard Nick here. So Nick, how's it going this week?
Oh, good, man. Just been recruiting heavy for the clan and getting ready for the next Diamond Division War. Yeah. I finally found out that found out why we got beat by Woe so badly. I mean, not that we, necessarily would have won. I'm not discrediting their amazing gameplay and just, ability to cap notes super fast, but yeah, we thought we were in the 54-man bracket, but apparently there's some kind of glitch where the clan app can set you to a different bracket size without your knowledge, and that's exactly what happened to us. I thought we were in 54-man bracket, but apparently we were in the 55 to 70 range, and we just,
We were a little bit outnumbered.
Yeah, we even had 15 people in the 54-man bracket, not really showing up for Clan Wars. So it's a miracle we scored any points at all. I'm happy we got second place in that diamond and got to keep our rank, and we can still play. So hats off to the guys that put in the effort to help us get that second place. I always count anything lower than first place as a loss, but in this case, I feel like it's a victory since we had 35 less guys playing than what the guys we were playing had. I mean, if all things considered, we got second place to a bunch of other clans who were in that 70-man bracket. To me, that's a freaking win, dude.
We were the only other clan able to score against the clan that won. Whoa.
Yeah, we're the only ones that scored besides Will. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll take it to the bank. And we're gonna have a way better showing. And now that I know that glitch can happen, I will definitely be making sure I check that clan app until the last minute, so that we don't get screwed over again like that.
Well, the app seems to be very glitchy, even at the best of times, from all the complaints that you've had about it in the past, even leading up to this. So
yeah,
it's kind of a big failing on their part too, I would think. So.
As the only resource to know what you're really attacking and your only way to strategize in Clan Wars, yeah, it's a little rough. I can deal with the communication things and some little things, but it's really your only recourse to really play Clan Wars properly.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's the only way to keep track of what you're doing in the Clan Wars. I mean, usually during the Clan Wars, they they're all right. But I wouldn't trust the clan chat app. It's never right. And then obviously there's different glitches like the roster lock and things like that. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's run by a third party. It's not even really a part of the larger scheme of Activision and Call of Duty. It's kind of its own thing. I mean, obviously they're contracted by the big organization, but it's its own little. They got their own studio and everything. So I don't know. It is what it is. I still enjoy Clan Wars. I'll still keep playing even if there's some bugs and crap that happens. Just gotta deal with it. I mean, there's nothing out there like this, so it's one of the reasons that keeps me engaged into Call of Duty in the first place is this Clan Wars. I know there's a lot of people that are just like, me. Look at how many Reddit teams there are out there. I think there's close to 10 Reddit clans.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of, and they're all competitive. They have different brackets. They go from, I think the lowest is 23 to, the highest is 100. And Reddit Black is like the one that paves the way. They're the big wig, run by the leader. So, which hats off to Wally. He knows who if he's checking this out, but he's the Reddit Black clan leader. He gave us a little heads up about playing WoW, and I guess I should have took that into consideration right then and there that we were in the wrong bracket because WoW was in their 100-man bracket, and Reddit Black, they beat them, but they still gave them a run for their money, and Reddit Black is like the team to beat in the 100-man Clan Wars. There's another one called I think the Pawn Stars is what they're called. Yeah, they're really good. They have some sponsored players and things like that. But yeah, they're in the 100-man bracket, and so was WoW. But I guess WoW stepped down for Diamond, and we got lucky enough to get them. I guess I think Beachhead had a little something against us, winning 4 Platinum Clan Wars in a row and beating the shit out of every opponent we touched in the Platinum division. They're like, oh, these guys can hang with WoW. Not when we only have 54 guys that are going to show up, We're in trouble. They didn't even have 54, I think. What did we end up having, Cindy? There was...
I think we had
9 or
40
10
at our
guys.
peak.
Yeah, 9 or 10 guys, though, that had 30
Oh,
minute
yeah.
win.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was in the 20s or lower.
Mhm.
We learned a lot about our clan that day.
We learned we need to have a little more stricter bylaws is basically what we learned if we want to be like WoW or Reddit Black in the future, which that is the goal. I mean, we want to be up there. So
I was impressed that we kept up, or at least scored, against clans that had way more people than us, even with people not showing up. And honestly, I learned a lot about, how do we phrase this? Dealing with people within the clan and their commitment level and taking them for their word, so to speak. So,
right.
honestly, it was a learning experience. We scored, we got our gear, we remained relevant, so I'm not too upset. I'm not thrilled, but I'm not too upset.
It's DTA in the clan. Don't trust anybody.
Well, there was a purge. There was a little bit of a cleanse, but
Yeah,
we're looking
we had
good. We got some motivated members. We got people looking to grind now. So
We had a couple people thinking they could run the clan better, I guess. A little bit of a mutiny, if you will. And there was a little sect that broke off, and I talked to them, and it is bygones. Actually, they've become our
recreational branch.
right. Yeah, they're a branch of OG, but they're recruiting all the time. They're going to fill up, and they're going to play Clan Wars, but they're going to stay in the lower brackets and not the lower brackets, but the lower division. He's going to play in Platinum, and the guy that's running it, we've talked in Facebook, and he wants to throw up that anybody that wants to be in an OG and do the Diamond Division Clan Wars and be a part of the upper hierarchy of OG, then they're welcome to join us from that clan, and they get first nod, over somebody that we just meet in a pub game or something like that. So, yeah, it's beneficial, and the longer that they're in there, and once they can get their schedule straightened out and they can actually make it to Clan Wars, then we'll see them. So, give them a tryout, see how they do. That's what we've been doing all week. We've been since it's Clan Wars and really, all you got to do is win public matches, we don't really worry too much about the KD, and the win-loss ratio is subject to who and what they're playing, who it is and what they're playing, and a lot of people will just sit there and play Search and Rescue and Search and Destroy, so their win-loss is really low. We have some guys in the win-loss column that if their KD was that low, we probably wouldn't have brought them into the clan, if you know what I mean, like 0.2 something. So
my kind of KD.
We're not super strict. Like, obviously, WoW's super strict about stuff. I don't know how Reddit, Black, and them are, but it doesn't take much to win a pub game. So, I mean, we just bring them in. We play with them with a full clan group. We see if they meld well, and if they usually if they place in the top 3 in the score, we'll give them a shot. But as long as we win the game, that's all that matters to me, and we'll get them in there. I mean, we might have to be more strict when we get to the top, but we don't know that. I mean, WoW could just be that's how they are. I guess some people were saying they had like #1 in the world Call of Duty players that are in pubs, like they're just straight up pub. But I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about it. I don't really care. They're not OG. OG is what matters to me. So.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, here we go. Full 6-man team. About to go wreck some shit. I don't think we lost a single game that night, did we?
No, not that night.
Well, I think that's a pretty impressive stat.
Probably 20-0, 25-0.
I'm honestly fairly modest when I say that's pretty much what it is every night. If you play with people within the clan, you're just going to win all night.
Yep, we pub stomp like nobody's business.
The other video that you can see in the corner, it says 6 hours. We may have lost twice. I'm pretty sure we lost once, but I like to give myself credit for being wrong, so.
I think that goes with any sort of team thing. As long as you're working together, I think success is usually guaranteed, unless you got a team that's working just as hard as you on the other side. And in that case, you've got good games because they're balanced and they're well fought. So there's nothing wrong with losing a close game when you're both going up.
And that's usually when we do lose, it's really close. So, we usually don't ever get stomped. And, I mean, even when we play other clans, we usually, they're usually a lot tighter, but we still end up winning, so that's all that matters to us.
Well, win-loss is more important than KD, usually, or at least for Clan Wars, isn't it? So.
Right. No, it's the only stat that matters. If you don't win, you don't capture nodes, you don't get points. So, yeah, we definitely look for people with win-loss more importantly than KD. There's
you can go 50-0, but if you're a lone wolf running around picking people off and not working on the objective, we can't catch a W.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple guys in the clan that have over 2 win-loss ratio, but, their KD's well below 1, so.
That's me. 0.6 KD, 0.21 win-loss. I mean, 2.1 win-loss.
See, I try to do like a little better in the KD market because it's kind of like you look at all these other commanders and shit, and like you look at the WoW commander, his like win loss is 7 point something and fucking 1.5 KD or something like that, and I'm just I'm in awe, and I'm like, I got to do better. So I push myself a little bit, so work on the KD a little bit. But when it comes down to winning the game, I'll die 40 fucking times if it matters, if I have to win. So. Expletive. My bad.
you guys like objective game modes better than like a team deathmatch, or?
Personally, yes,
Yeah,
very, very
yeah,
much
I
so.
love.
I've been playing video games since I've been able to. I can't even put a date on it. I played Doom on my old PC and played my friend from school by dialing into his modem and
Wow,
having a one-on-one. So
that's old school right there.
I've been killing since been killing since been killing. It's become more of a means to an end than an end to me. So I like the game modes where your slaying is good, your slaying is what helps you complete the objective, but just murdering things in front of you isn't the whole idea of the game.
Right. No, that's why me and Senior we work so well together. We both know that it's more important to win than to show off a shiny KD. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
sure, we could probably, do what needs to be done and have a 1 point something KD if we really wanted to, but, I'm more worried about getting that objective and winning the game.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time looking at the map and looking at the scoreboard and keeping people their morale in line with what we need instead of raging off and yelling in people's ears. And I'm doing a lot while I'm trying to kill, so I do tend to fall off and get distracted.
I can rage quite a bit. It just depends on. I have like a different motivational skill set, I guess. That's probably. I'm like, yo, we gotta start winning, or I'm kicking you out of the clip.
Well, we had 2 games we played today where one guy on the other team was basically carrying them, and we were just having the worst time in the world. And we stayed positive, we kept grinding through it, and we won in the last like 30 seconds or so, just like we needed to, and continued our win streak.
Yeah, we got that one. We'll have to show that one uploaded in a clip. That was pretty badass. That was a nice comeback. I thought we were out of it. I started moaning and groaning, and Cindy's like, wait, we got this.
Gotta do
Let's
the
just
math,
stay
man. If there's
positive.
time, we can win. As long as there's time on the clock, we can win.
We had it, and we did it, so that's all that matters. Worked together as a team. We took all 3 notes back and sat on them for a minute. And that's all it took.
Well, it's good to have a positive outlook, and yeah, like you say, if there's time, then there's you can do
There's
it.
hope. There's hope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think of like in Destiny, the control game type? It's an objective game point or game mode, sort of, but your kills count more if you have the one of the objectives. What do you guys think of that? Because I know, Cindy, you weren't a big fan of Crucible Destiny there. Like, what do you think of that?
Oh, yeah.
When I'm taking into account game theory and things like that go into making it, it's kind of like domination with the roles reversed. When you play more where the points come from capturing the objective and holding the objective, and that's strictly where it comes from, kills don't matter anywhere, then the Slayers become more the utility player. They're more the support role. The guys who really just want to kill things and murder, death, kill, they become just keeping the field clear and buying you time. It's the roles are kind of reversed in the Crucible, where the guys who are capping things are important, but they're more the utility, because if they're not getting the kills in the first place, if they're not grinding the field and leaving the bodies, then they're really not putting any points on the board, even though they're capping things and playing a very objective gameplay.
Precisely. I agree 100% with him. The only thing that I'd like to add is if there were more game types, I wouldn't mind control so much.
Absolutely. I think that would be an awesome variation to what I normally play, but to focus on that one game mode and have that be my only means of competitive outlet, it just wasn't for me at the moment. That's why I fell back into Call of Duty again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they tried like a cross between domination and Team Slayer, Team Deathmatch type of thing, and it just doesn't work. I think the Titanfall hit the nail on the head when you play Titanfall and you're holding something. I think it's like hardpoint, or what's it called on Titanfall?
It is hardpoint, yeah.
Yeah, you literally will hold that node and you get points for it. I mean, so I would go in there and just be an objective player, and I would be on the top of the leaderboard just by holding nodes and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
I love that game type. If they'd bring that game type into COD and into Destiny, that'd be a brilliant move. But yeah, I don't like the whole let's try to make it domination / Team Slayer. It doesn't work. I mean, I'll play it it'd be nice if there was other games though, other game types.
It kind of makes team deathmatch more inviting to the objective players because now there's a job that you can do without holding your team back because you're not going super positive.
Right.
So I do like that aspect of it. It's just not I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little biased because I've been killing since killing is an option online. So I kind of been there, done that. I want new ways. I want to go plant bombs. Like we were talking about in the chat the other day, Battlefield had a game mode where the first half of the game was like domination, but when you control the node fires at the other team's aircraft carrier. Once you've held the nodes long enough, you've opened up their aircraft carrier. Now your team has to breach it, enter it, work your way to the engine room, and plant a bomb and finish the game mode.
Yeah,
So,
Battlefield definitely has some of the coolest objective mode games.
yeah, so I'd be more inclined to play that over a game where I can control a node, but really the Slayers are the ones putting the points on, and I'm just a pawn in their game.
Right. Definitely.
There's actually some video posted this week of
I'm sorry, that's how I fucking look at the screen. I see Sidney dead.
I told you, the best way to describe it to the viewers is that you're watching the Super Bowl winning team win the Super Bowl, but from the Waterboys' point of view. I am far from the best Slayer. You'll see me at the top of the leaderboard, and you'll see all my capturing and things, but I sacrifice my body for the cause. I'm going to be dead a lot.
Right.
Yeah, when I used to play domination, that's what I used to do. I always go for the objective more than obviously getting kills is important, at least for the if you're getting kills, you're staying alive, and so you can get the points. But yeah, my KD did suffer tremendously the more I played domination. Way back when.
I mean, let's face it, not everybody can drop 40 kills a game and, still win the game. I mean, we constantly play people that are dropping 50 and 60 on us, and we're still crushing them. So they can do what they want, but as long as we're winning in the end, I don't care. Well, I guess 50 and 60 would be a little bit too much. 30s and 40s is more or less. I think the last game I just played, there were two guys that dropped 50 on us. We were actually losing the game for a long time, and we had two recruits in there, and the two recruits really pulled it together, and we pulled it together and won it, like, in the last 45 seconds of the game. I think we ended up coming back and beating them. So, but yeah, I mean, there was two guys in there that dropped over 40 kills on us. So, you can imagine the bombing runs and all the other crap that's just coming out, especially on like a hard point game, where you're all just kind of staying in one general area. They just drop bombs on you all the whole freaking game. You get a bombing run, you get another bombing run, from the bombing run. So.
Well, let's kind of keep things on Call of Duty at the moment here, because I think one of the big reasons, like I don't have Advanced Warfare, and to be honest, I haven't really had a lot of desire to, just because I think I'm just kind of a little burnt out on COD still. But a lot of this gameplay, it's very jerky at times. And Nick, you were saying there last week that Dying Light was giving you headaches from all its parkour and all that. With the jerkiness of this, like, how do you guys like this compared to previous, Call of Duty titles?
Bring that doesn't give me headaches like Dying Light. That's all I can say.
How do I describe it? It gives you more access to your footwork, to your actual moving around, and a fight becomes more like a boxing match where you're ducking and weaving and moving left and right and back and forth, rather than something very linear where you turn the corner, you're facing each other, that's the end of the fight, really.
Right.
So, but it only gives you like a boost or two at a time. For example, like if you jump up in the air and then you click forward on the stick like you're sprinting, it'll boost you forward. You'll see me do it a lot. You can only do that twice. It's not like an infinite thing or something like Destiny where it'll boost you for a long period of time and you'll glide. So it's kind of like smooth, precise plays that you can only make here and there. It doesn't affect the gameplay too much, but it does open up it's more of a 3D fight now, to be honest with you.
Right. I like the. You played a Hunter too, didn't you, Mike? And Destiny.
I'm playing Hunter now. Yeah.
You're playing Hunter. Okay, so yeah, it's like the boost jump, the exo jump is almost like getting the Hunter jump. But the best way that I can honestly describe how awesome that the exo abilities are and stuff in this game is, in Halo and even in older CODs, you had these guys that are bumper jumpers that would, they would do exactly what the exosuit's kind of doing for us by, clicking in on the stick. We can jump or dash to the right or the left and get a kill. I never myself ever got into bumper jumping, so I felt like, sometimes I had a handicap. See that guy drop 40 on us right there, and we still beat him 250 to 182.
And his team's still quit behind him.
And they left him. So yeah, I mean it's, we with the exosuit, it's a lot different, and I think that it brings a little more of a level playing field because we all have the exosuit. It's pretty cool. I really like the exosuit. This is my favorite Call of Duty that I've played to date. So
I agree, actually.
Isn't that kind of the general mentality with COD though? Is that typically the new game is always the best game?
No, Ghost was terrible.
Okay, with I guess with the exception of Ghost, but usually Black Ops was better than Modern Warfare. I guess Black Ops 2 was better than Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 was better than Black Ops.
Oh, so there's Nasty in the lobby now.
See, I think, Mike, you got a point, but at the same time, usually the people that are saying that, this is the greatest one ever or whatever is, kids that are just like playing it for the first time or haven't played like enough of the other game, to necessarily give a good judgment of the other game. Like I feel like people that are saying that there's kids in the clan that are literally like, I hate this freaking Call of Duty. I'll play Ghost over this or whatever. And there's others that are just like, I would never play Ghost again. Like me, I'm never playing Ghost again. I don't care what they do. If they do some kind of special playing wars or something, I'm not going back to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I see your point, but at the same time, I think that a game has to be good in order for you to kind of give it the new, like, this is the greatest new Call of Duty or whatever.
The only time I ever really felt it took a huge leap was when it actually became Modern Warfare and we stopped fighting in World War II.
Right.
Other than that, we've just been getting little improvements, and I like to take each installment as its own installment, literally, as its own little chapter in the book and see how it is. If I like it, I like it. I wasn't a huge fan of Ghosts, but I came back. So.
Right.
That's a good point.
I'll continue to play every Call of Duty they make at least once. Check it out.
Yeah. So. I think you guys know who Ali A is, right?
Yeah.
He's a YouTuber, right? So I've been following him for a few years now, and
jumped off the map, bro.
Yeah, I opened it up like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's comic relief. Leave me alone.
All right, Mike. Yeah, Ali A, what do you say?
Yeah, so he obviously does Call of Duty YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, and I've been following him for a few years now, and every new Call of Duty comes out, he says it's the best. I can't wait
really?
to play this new one. It's going to be the best one, and all that, and that just kind of, really. He said that with the last 4 installments and all that, and at some point you kind of have to say, okay, look at it and say, is it?
Well, I think he's doing that to get more subscribers, right? I mean, that's all their job really is to so they can get as many subscribers as possible and people that will follow them, make them rich.
It's definitely
it's
got
a hype
that.
machine.
Say whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Plus, I mean, it doesn't hurt that he's clad in a bunch of scuff gaming and probably has Activision crap on. I don't know. I mean, he's very popular. So
once you reach a certain level of popularity, there is a certain level of politics you have to play to remain there.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's something that we'll never really have to worry about because I don't see myself getting 1 million subscribers anytime soon. But
I'm
Hey,
just
you never
happy
know,
that.
man.
well,
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
OG world domination starts here.
Right.
I've been working on it for a while. Shit.
One little bit at a time.
I mean, but
Cool.
the hype machine itself wouldn't exist. I mean, if people weren't putting up YouTube videos and doing all the different things they're doing and streaming like I did here to catch some footage, the companies wouldn't turn around and say that we should give them stuff. Somebody in a meeting somewhere, and I've done some marketing and branding and things over the years, and somebody in a meeting goes, "Hey, people really like that. Let's be part of that, so people really like us too."
Yeah.
So they had to be doing it. They had to be out there doing it early before companies decided to do sponsorships and really hook people up.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
like
in
all.
the end, you get sucked into the machine because the machine wants you to be a cog.
True that.
It is. What do you guys think of this whole Nintendo partnership thing that they're making YouTubers do? That they are allowed to make money on their content, but they had to give a portion of it back to Nintendo.
What? Never heard of it.
I go both ways on things like that because I dabble in creative arts, and honestly, Nintendo made the product. It's Nintendo's thing. If anybody's going to make money on the fact that it exists and it's being operated, technically speaking, it should be Nintendo. But we live in a world that isn't the same as the world we grew up in as kids, so nowadays everybody has access to streaming. Almost everybody can do whatever it is they want to put the media out there. If they didn't play the game in a particular way, then you wouldn't really be able to market it the way that they did. Nintendo couldn't do the things the streamers and the YouTubers are doing, or they would have done it already.
Yeah,
So I
that's a
kind of
good
fall
point.
right in between. That as much as it is Nintendo's property, they came up with it, they paid the people to create it, they coded it, they backed it, they loved it, they nurtured it, they got it out there in the world. But if they could have done what the YouTubers and the streamers and what all the other people are doing, then they probably would have, and they probably should have, and they shouldn't penalize people for enjoying it and sharing their love.
Yeah, two sides of that coin, bro, and you flipped them both ways. I mean, you can take it however you want, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And like I
Yeah,
make music and I dabble in creative things, like I said. So to me personally, I know what it is to birth a child, so to speak, creatively, to actually sit there and ponder and love it and put it out to the world and make sure the world loves it as much as you do. And then to have somebody else making a living off it when you put all that work and love into it, it hurts a little bit.
but with gaming though, like we all spend our 60, $70 to buy these games, so they are getting their pound of flesh from us.
But
It's
it's
just
kind
not
of
the aftermath.
like with World of Warcraft and all the games like that, where a secondary market emerged and people are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars cumulatively on accounts and items and things that this company that gave you this awesome gift of a game is not seeing any kind of percentage of. I mean, I'm a businessman as much as I'm an artist, and I understand what it is to get your margins and to make a profit on the hard work that you did. So, like I said, I'm torn in the issue. I honestly don't know how to feel it. As long as all the parties are kind of being respectful of each other, I feel like it's symbiotic.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. As
I
long as
think
they're not, tearing them down and stuff, like they're showing their product and making it more popular by showing it off. I mean,
Yeah, somebody else is making $1 on your game, but on the same note, your game is getting all kinds of media attention that you never planned on, plotted on, didn't spend a penny for. I mean, like I said, I feel I'm mixed. It's symbiotic at most, at best.
it very well could be. It just seems that I think with the precedent of PlayStation and Xbox not requiring these sort of things, it has kind of put Nintendo in sort of like, why the hell are they doing this? Like,
True, very true.
because yeah, like on the like I just look at it from the outsider's perspective, and yeah, it just seems a little crazy for them to be demanding a cut from people. I don't know how much YouTubers make on average, and some of them seem to do quite well. Some people have made a living of it, but for the occasional person, like for us to post Nintendo gameplay, I guess um, if we had monetization on our YouTube channel, I guess it would be an issue. But But yeah, it is sort of an interesting thing, and yeah, it's a lot of people are complaining about it, but yet I heard that people are signing up in droves for the program. So, because
I mean, I guess as a corporate entity, I'd like to control the quality of the content that technically I'm putting out and being represented as in the world. I mean, that's a boardroom move.
which is fair, which is
Yeah,
definitely
no,
fair.
absolutely. I mean, the gaming industry is just that. It's an industry. It's a business.
Yeah.
If they're not making money, they can't make better games for us. They can't increase technology exponentially as they have been and keep giving us a better experience. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a good point. So yeah, time will tell what actually happens with this, and whether Nintendo or whoever backs down or starts a fit or whatever. But yeah, it's an interesting situation to be sure, because yeah, like I said, a lot of people are mad about it, but
I honestly wasn't even aware. I'm going to read up on it. I kind of like media law.
Thanks, Mike.
yeah,
And put that one in the notes.
yeah, I'll try to get that in there. Yeah, because there's been a lot of articles over the past week about it. Yeah, it just kind of goes to show that Nintendo, for all of their struggles, I guess, is definitely still a big force out there. And the games that are out there, people love. Your Mario Karts and all that. And
I love Mario Kart. I'm not going to lie, I love Mario Kart.
well, everybody does. And for all of Nintendo's problems, it just seems like if you're trying to get your content out there, ultimately their goal is to still be selling Wiis. And if people have to jump all through these hoops to I think a large portion of the reason that the Call of Duty is so big is because of YouTubers and streamers and all that. Like all these pro teams, Optic and Envy and all these people playing Call of Duty for the last few years has definitely helped. And to be putting restrictions on what people can post online just seems kind of silly when they're trying to build Nintendo back into an entity, I guess, that can stand at the same place as PlayStation and Xbox.
I'm always big when it comes to marketing on more of a grassroots approach, so taking power away from the people would never be my strategy, but I have also never run or worked for or even thought about doing anything for a company as large as Nintendo. So I'd like to think maybe they know what they're doing.
I would hope.
I'd like to hope. I'd like to play another Mario Kart, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but we'll try to get some links in the show notes here for so everyone can read up on that, because it's definitely an interesting propaganda or proposition, I guess. So.
Yeah, if that becomes across the board through all kinds of different consoles and formats, I mean, that's something that you're now infringing upon the player's right to do more than be a player, to do more than be a pawn in their game, so to speak. I mean, the advent of streaming, I mean, I really didn't have any idea that I could really hit Twitch and leave 2 hours of footage and we could sit here and watch it while we discuss things. I'm just coming onto all this, but with the advent of all this technology and all the things we can do, it's becoming more in our hands than it is in their hands, and I guess they're struggling to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, this is the world we live in now, so.
Time to catch up.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch gears here and let's quickly talk some Destiny, because it was kind of an interesting week on the Destiny front of things here. Earlier in the week, some guy posted in Reddit some links to potential House of Wolves stuff, which is the next DLC. Bungie was pretty quick to get in there and say, yeah, this is great, but don't hold your breath, as they usually do. And update today saying that it's going to be, we're looking at sometime in Q2 this year, so anywhere from April to June for this expansion to come out. Now, guys don't really complain about it. Yeah, they haven't given an official date, but it's somewhere in that range. So, like, you guys don't really play a lot of Destiny anymore, but what do you guys think of that? Because, like, me personally...
Looks like I'm not going to be playing Destiny for a while.
Yeah, like I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. Like this leak on Reddit said that May 19th was going to be the day, which does fall into quarter two. But Bungie was pretty quick to say, okay, that's probably not going to be it. But as a lot of, I guess, the quote unquote hardcore people of Destiny, like myself included in that statement, who's 32 and getting guns leveled and all that, if we have to wait until June to get some new content, that's kind of a long time to go without anything to kind of tide us over.
Is that a long time in general between DLCs?
I guess it could be considered so, yes, because like it was 3 months for when Dark Below came out after the initial release, so everyone was sort of expecting, House of Wolves to be somewhere 3 months later again, which would have put it in March-April range.
Gotcha.
But to be pushing it back another potentially 2 months to June, that seems.
This is one where I guess the line divides between the casual player and the hardcore player. I mean, for the casual player, a little extra time to catch up to everybody else who's playing all the time is pretty cool. But I guess to someone like you who really plays Destiny all the time, and someone who I tried to be but ended up liking competitive multiplayer a little better, I guess it could be a little frustrating. Because I remember the first time before the first expansion came out, I hit my cap and I was a little itchy for something new.
Yeah. Well, they
I
definitely.
was something new after 2 days of Crota.
You know what? I don't get on often enough to really feel like I'm being, like it's dragging on. To me personally, it wouldn't really change as a casual player. It wouldn't really change my timeline at all. I don't feel any type of way about it. If anything, I'm happy I could do a little catching up on the back end. But I'm also one of those guys that took a couple of my characters and just bought gear on the back end and bumped them up to the 30s. So.
Well, that's definitely kind of been the thing. Bungie's definitely has wanted casual people every chance they can to get to the higher levels, and that's why they allowed the vendor gear to get you to level 31, even though the Vaulted Glass gear from the raid was only 30. That whole debacle there. So their focus is to give everyone a chance, but then again, yeah, I don't know. I guess it is kind of an interesting thing now, because I was grinding to the very last minute before Dark Below came out to get hit level 30, and here I am, at the top here, only a month in, wondering what I'm going to do for the next potentially 2-3 months.
Gotcha. Maybe it's time to get away from levels being the factor that it is. Maybe there's new abilities or some kind of other exclusive thing you can give these items to make them more substantial in the long run, seeing as level is always going to get a slight hike and a slight help for the casual player.
This goes back to what Keith is talking about in that power creep. I think that what they really need to do is introduce the final abilities for our Guardians and add some new content and, fix the issues with the guns and the different leveling aspects. And I think I'll be back into Destiny around June.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've definitely beat this to a bloody pulp here over the last few weeks, but there's still no indication from Bungie on what they're gonna do. They are aware of the issue, and they have said that they have made mistakes, so it's anybody's guess what they're gonna do. They did tease a little bit that there's going to be some more content coming at the end of the year as well, as sort of tie over, I guess, or that whole rumored Comet expansion. That's probably going to be coming in some shape or form towards the end of the year as well. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation, and through all of it, they've got a link to the leaked stuff on Reddit, and a lot of the guns look actually pretty nice. So I'm kind of hoping that there is some truth to what they were saying there, because there's definitely, I think, a good variety and a lot more, I think, usable guns, because a lot of the Dark Below weapons are all high rate of fire, low damage, and I personally don't like that. I think I'm not alone in that sentiment either.
Were they designed that way to go along with the Dark Below itself?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's just kind of more the nature of the Hive, I guess. As an enemy, you want something that that does fire quickly.
Well, that's
then again,
understandable. I don't know we'll ever get away from anything like that then.
Yeah. But yeah, so if anyone want to check the show notes and check out some of the images for these weapons, it's all in Japanese, unfortunately. So yeah, well, I actually do
we have a
pretty
translator?
nice, so I don't, but I'll get my buddy to help me out. He spent a few years in Japan. But yeah, so that's that. So we're still waiting. DLC's coming. There was another article. They're going to be doing some more weapon balancing with the next patch in Destiny as well. That's going to be coming sometime, I think, before the end of the month. Those pulse rifles that everyone just loves to use are going to get a damage buff finally, so they might be a little bit more usable. A few other little things, shotguns get going to be a little bit more usable as well. And
is that across the board between PvE and PvP?
no, it's PvE. Basically, shotguns are going to do twice the damage.
Gotcha.
To enemies now, because they're pretty useless.
Oh no, I agree. I was just curious if they started separating them, if they're going to do them one or the other, or how it was going to play out.
They have to. I mean, there's no choice in the matter, in my opinion.
That's one of the things I found interesting about it, is because your PvE and your PvP are so very, very different that if they don't accommodate for both, then all of their updates are kind of sketchy. It was fun in the beginning to watch all that happen.
Right.
Now, the game is definitely much different than it was when it released, which is a good thing. And so I guess in the end, it is kind of a good thing potentially that they're going to take their time with with House of Wolves DLC. Listen to us and make meaningful changes to change the game for the better.
That's kind of where my patience comes from. I understand nobody's really endeavored to do what they claim to be trying to do. So it's a growing experience for both the player and the industry itself, and we'll see what we get from it. Hopefully they keep listening to us. Hopefully they keep giving us the things we want. If not, it's going to be a sketchy 10 years. They said.
Yeah.
It's going to be a sketchy decade.
Yeah. Well, they've laid the groundwork that they are listening. So that's got to count for something.
I don't know too many companies who have done what they're attempting to do at the moment. The next thing that comes out that we say is a clone of Destiny, I'll be a lot more critical upon with my review, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm letting them build it around me, and hopefully it just plays out for the best and all my time wasn't wasted.
Couldn't agree more.
I had a lot of fun playing it, I'm not going to lie, but as somebody who's been playing games for a long time, I also want some return for my investment, so...
No, I totally hear you. And that's kind of been the biggest complaint, is that, especially with that power creep that was talked before, that just a lot of people off. Spent a lot of time getting all this stuff, and then just to have the next day come around and have it be worthless is
My two non-main characters I cheated with. I'm the guy that you hate who bought the gear from the vendor and took my two characters that weren't my mains and just boosted them up real quick. So I definitely play both sides of the coin on that one too.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have the ability, why not? It's there.
Yeah, but after doing one the hard way, to be able to just do that real quick for my other two, it kind of had me thinking.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, so, yeah. time will tell and see what they do. But they have acknowledged they have made mistakes. They're changing. So let's.
I just noticed all the paint everywhere.
Okay, get that paint.
When I play Call of Duty, I leave the paintball effect on. I guess it was there to dull down the blood and gore and things, but you can see where all my bullets go, and you can see the recklessness.
It's pretty awesome.
I was wondering what that is. Like, is it just oil spreading out of the exosuits or something? Like, what is all this?
Instead of well, for me personally, it started helping with my accuracy because from really far away, you can see that, and you can't see tiny little bullet holes in the concrete. So you're starting to see also, like, if I'm standing with people on my team, I look to the right and I see McKinney or Nasty has paintballs exploding off their chest. People are shooting at us. That's something you don't know if you don't have paintball on. So I use it as a little bit of an aid.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is kind of that's.
And then you'll see all the guys glowing in red in their outlines in the background. That's the threat detection. It's one of the enhancements you can put on a UAV. Our clan likes to live off those. There are a lot of games where from 20 seconds in till the end of it, you can just see everybody through walls.
Yeah, you can hear us saying lights are up, lights are up. We were first saying Merry Christmas to each other because
it was the right time of year when we started doing it. And that's actually one of the things I appreciate about Call of Duty over a lot of games is the customization you could put into it. When I run with my particular squad, my 6 to 9 guys that are out there, each of us are taking different score streaks. Some of us have anti-UAV and anti-intelligence and all kinds of things. Some of us have damage score streaks. I like to run the UAV because I don't get long score streaks, so I can have them all add up and count up after a couple deaths still. So we like to work together and make it all go. And you can't do as much with Destiny, even though your powers and you can coordinate and things, but I like the customization level. It's kind of like Pokemon, if I can bring it back that far. You can kind of pick and choose your attacks and where your defenses and your offenses are, and you can kind of complement each other much better than 3 to 6 stock characters that you can play with.
Right.
Well, it is good, yeah, and that is what you should be doing as a team, and that's nothing wrong with that at all. And to play devil's advocate, I guess you can in Destiny sort of vary your loadouts a bit, dependent upon like Titans, with their bubbles, or Striker, doing their ground slams and all that kind of stuff. It does allow for some variation.
Very true.
And your Warlocks, if your super's going, you can give a boost, or you can give a boost to your teammates as well. So I don't know, but bottom line is that is what you should be doing, to play as a team. You need.
Yeah, it's all about complementing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
The people who play directly under me will tell you I'm a little bit hard at cracking the whip, but we get results out of it, and everybody has a really good time because everybody finds their little groove of what they enjoy about the game, and we try to make that a much better experience for them.
Yep.
You're having great luck going for this B flag here, I gotta say.
B flag is ridiculous on this map.
Oh, it's so hard, man. You just gotta keep taking it.
Yep, you just keep throwing your body at it.
Yep, just keep throwing bodies at it. Turtle it if you can. Get in there and just.
And here's finally the game crashing after an hour or so of playing perfectly.
Yeah, this is pretty spectacular here, jeez.
And then they show off for you.
Yeah, this is the game. Care of Sledgehammer Games. Box.
What? Which one was that? The one that we got DC'd in?
That was the only one we got disconnected out of this session. We took one loss eventually. I have no clue. Oh, actually, no. In this one, we didn't take any losses. So that'll be the one thing that technically wasn't a win.
Right. Where's my? Oh, that's you. Yeah, are you looking at you?
Yep, that's me. I know the shotgun in your hand seems familiar, but I kind of took over that mantle when you gave it up. I love my face hammer now.
I don't use it anymore at all.
Well, I think that should pretty much wrap things up for this week. You guys got anything you'd like to throw in here before we sign off?
Good times, man.
Yeah, no, just thank you to everybody who actually put in the time in Clan Wars and got us that second place win. I mean, if we didn't score against a team who had a lot more people than us, we wouldn't have gotten that pretty little helmet you've been watching in the background. So,
Yeah,
not a lot of people in
yes.
Call of Duty are walking around with that right now. You should be proud of having it.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, good job.
Even guys in Diamond don't have the full Centurion gear because you have to get at least 2 wins to go into Diamond, but you only get a piece of gear for each Clan Wars you win or place within first to third in Diamond divisions. So, yeah, we've won 4 straight, took second place in our first Diamond, and that's pretty freaking good.
Agreed, yeah. Cool.
Wrap her up.
Let's wrap it up then, yes. OriginalGuardians.net is our website. You can check us out. Facebook, Original Guardians. Twitter, @OGuardians. Google+, just search plus Original Guardians. Links in the show notes to everything we talked about here today. And, yeah, I think with that...
Enjoy your week. I'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Exactly.
I'll see you tomorrow, son.
Later, man.
Oh, okay. More technical difficulties. Bear with me.
Oh, we gotta stay for Tyler. Wanted to jump in here real quick.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Come on.
What's going on, bro?
Why won't you end?